I grew up with comic books, and Marvel was a big part of that. Doctor Strange somehow has been under the radar for a lot of people, especially in Europe. I think it was much bigger in America. And it's a product from the 60s or 70s, as far as I believe, and a little more crazy than some of the other things. So I got my hands on a couple of copies a friend of mine is collecting, and I loved it, all of it. I think that in general, the story appealed to me, and we're dealing with a man, you and me, maybe a little brighter than us, a fantastic surgeon who has a touch of arrogance to him. Uh, and this arrogance is following through the first half of the film, and something terrible happens, and he has to confront his fears and his beliefs. And I thought that was a very, very human and brilliant way of describing a superhero, and let him start there and see where he goes. Well, that first encounter is once Stephen Strange hits the temple. My character is already on his move. He's already dedicating himself to the other side. So their first encounter is quite brutal, actually. We fight for 15 minutes the first time we meet each other. And it's a situation where Doctor Strange does not have his powers, and he is not as skillful a fighter as the rest of us at this point because we've been there for 20 years. He's only been there for 9 months. So, so he's been thrown around a lot, actually, in these very chambers we're sitting in here. I think that most of us, we grew up with Marvel, right? And for us, we never really let them go. They were not a kid's thing. It was part of an art as well. And I think most of us see Marvel as a fantastic piece of art throughout the decades they've been doing, right? So for us to be in one of the films is not only a childhood dream, it's also an adult dream because the stories are wider than just entertaining in the sense of entertaining kids. They are dealing with big questions. You know, who am I? What is the universe? Good and evil. And those are, as always, some of the best stories. I think he's a perfect choice in the sense that this is a man that transformed from one thing to another, and Benedict possesses both things. He can be very physical and very direct, but he can also be very intellectual, and he can also play very arrogant. And this character has a fair amount of arrogancy in the beginning of the film, and I think that's perfect for the character. And his journey is obviously to figure out what purpose that is serving, this arrogance. He loves this film. He loves this universe, and you can simply see his face light up when something is happening, something succeeds the way he wanted it to be. Right? For him, it's definitely not just a film. It is a mission, and all the childish feelings that hopefully will come up in the audience when they watch it is coming up in him when he's sitting in his chair directing and behind the monitors.